Welcome to Intelligence Hunt. Hope everyone are doing good and it's been a long time meeting you people.
In this video, we are going to discuss NCERT Class 8 Geography Chapter 1 Resources. Let's look at the topics which we are going to discuss in this lesson. We are going to discuss about the introduction of resources, explanation part, types of resources, natural resources and its classification, human-made resources, human resources, conserving the resources, easy ways of conserving resources, then principles of sustainable development. Let's go to the introduction part. First of all, we will see what is a resource. A resource is a source or supply from which a benefit is produced. I repeat, a resource is a source or supply from which a benefit is produced. So, the resource must have certain benefit which will be produced. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is called as a resource. We are able to use different items such as water, utensils, electricity, clothes, furniture and textbook. All these things have something in common. So every product has certain usage by a human being, and where the usage happens, that is a usability or utility. To put it in a simple terms, when any object or thing takes the form of a usable resource, it becomes usability or utility. How does something become a resource? So let's see, the things become resource only when they have a value. So a particular resource will have certain value. Value is nothing but the worth. For example, if we go to a textile shop or any shopping, immediately we see the price tag of that particular product. Whether that particular product is worth for the value whatever is being tagged there. The importance of a resource lies on its economic value. For example, metals may have higher economic value than that of beautiful landscapes and mountains. So the metal has high economic value than the natural things which happens. So everything satisfies the human need. So if we human being look at the beautiful natural landscapes or natural sceneries, our mind gets relaxed. So that is also one way of satisfying the human need. And the same way, the metals have more economic value than the beautiful landscape or the mountain. Both these examples of resources are capable of satisfying the needs of the human beings. The economic value of some resources changes with time. So what happens is the economic value keeps on changing. For example, if we have a mobile phone right now worth of 16,000 or 20,000, this will not be of same value after some time. So that is the explanation part here. The economic value of some resources changes with time. So as the time goes on, the economic value of a particular product also changes. For example, the herbs that a grandmother suggested for certain illness may have no commercial value in today's time. That is nothing but whatever the home remedies we do, that doesn't have a commercial value in today's time. However, if you get these remedies and herbs patented, patent is nothing but the patental right, the exclusive right over any idea or invention. So if we get the patent right using certain procedures and sell the herbs with the help of a medical firm, the economic value of those remedies and herbs would increase directly. So what is the need to get the patent right? Why the people are not even considering if our grandmother tells certain suggestions of home remedies for illness? So this is how the economic value of certain things change according to the changes in the time. So let's see an important factor which is responsible for changing the substances into a resource. The two main factors are time and technology. Both are important for completing the needs of the people. That is, the time is also important and technology is also important to complete the requirement of the people. Even we people are an important resource. How the people are becoming as an important resource? Say, for example, if the people are working in an MNC offices or multinational companies or in any kind of office, employment offices, the people become as a resource to that particular office. The creation of new resources have taken place only because of ideas, discoveries, knowledge and inventions carried on by people of different requirements. Time and technology is an important requirement, an important resource for completing or satisfying the needs of the people. So every discovery and invention has led to several newer ones as well. So all the discoveries and inventions, whatever is being made, leads to several new inventions. Once a fire was discovered, but right now we are learning to cook as well. Similarly, as the wheel was discovered, different modes of transport were discovered. As the creation of hydroelectricity with the help of technology was introduced, the fast flowing water has been identified as an important resource. So, with the invention and with the various discoveries made by the people, all those leads to a new technology and new changes in the time. The next topic is types of resources. So resources are classified into three main categories. The first one is natural resources, second human-made resources, and the final one is human resources. First one is natural resources. So we will see the meaning of natural resources. The resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. I repeat, resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification. Modification is nothing but without any changes are called natural resources. So on the right hand side, you can find the examples of the natural resources. Water found in lakes and rivers, air around us used for breathing, minerals of different types, and soils. So these are the various examples of natural resources. So all these resources are the free gift of nature and it can be used directly without any changes. So now I think now you can understand the definition of the resources. In some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use a natural resource in the best possible way. So the next topic is the classification of natural resources. The natural resources can be classified into two. One is renewable resources, second one non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are the resources which are capable of getting replenished or renewed quickly are known as renewable resources. Some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities. So all the resources are unlimited and we human beings do not interrupt them. So that examples of the examples of the renewable resources are solar energy and wind energy. Yet careless use of certain renewable resources like water, soil and forest can affect your stock. So the second classification of natural resources is non-renewable resources. So non-renewable resources means the resources which have a limited stock. That is, once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished because the period is much more than the human lifespan. Such resources are considered as non-renewable resources. Example, coal, petroleum and natural gas are some examples. On the basis of their distribution resources, how these two natural resources are distributed depends on the several physical factors such as altitude, terrain and climate. These natural resources have unequal distribution because our earth consists of physical factors of different types. So we cannot say which resources are available in which part of the earth. So there are a lot of resources which are available, renewable and non-renewable resources. But all these natural resources are unequally distributed on the earth. The next topic is human-made resources. Natural substances become resources only when their original form is changed by humans. Earlier, people did not consider iron ore as a resource because they later on learned how to extract the iron from this ore. So there is lot of process for extraction of iron from the ore. It is called as a smelting process. You will learn later in the history chapter. Natural resources are useful in constructing various things such as vehicles, roads, bridges, buildings, and machinery, which are considered as a human-made resources. So all those things like vehicles, roads, bridges, buildings, and machinery are the human-made resources. The next topic is human-made resources. The natural substances become resources only when their original form is changed by humans. The natural substance whichever is available must have certain change in the originality of the particular product which is done by the human being. Earlier, people did not realize that iron ore a resource until they learned the extraction of iron from this ore. Natural resources are useful in constructing various things such as vehicles, roads, bridges, buildings, and machinery, which are considered as a human-made resources. Though we are using the natural resource and we are changing the originality and we are making it to a different form, like building the buildings, bridges, roads, vehicles, and machinery. All those things become a human made resource. Though there is a natural resource, what we are doing here is the human being changes the form of the originality and we are trying to create a new technology or new development or new inventions. Technology is another important example of human made resources. The next topic is human resources. As people gain skills, knowledge, and technical advancements, they start making good use of nature so that more resources could be created. So the human being starts to gain lot of skill and knowledge from the education and from the experienced persons. We start to have lot of creativity in our mind. This is the reason why humans are also considered as a significant resource. With the help of education and health, people, that is our human beings, are transformed into a valuable resources. The improvement of different skills in order to create more resource is known as human resource development. I repeat, the improvement of different skills in order to create more resources is known as human resources development. So already a human being has lot of skill and knowledge, and by improving all those skill and knowledge it becomes as a human resource development. Next topic is conserving the resource. Conserving is nothing but saving the resources. How to save the resources which are available. Using natural resources carefully and giving them time so that they get replenished or renewed is called as resource conservation. Conserving the resources for future usage and balancing their need at the same time is known as sustainable development. Conserving the resources is nothing but usage of saving the resources. Conserving the resource means saving the resources for future usage, and we are trying to balance the requirement need, right? That is called as the sustainable development. Resources can be conserved in different ways. A person can contribute by reducing, recycling, and reusing the goods. So they can try to reduce the usage of the resource, reuse the resource, and recycle the goods whichever has been available. Since the life of every human being is linked with each other, making a difference ultimately matters. The future of our Mother Earth and its inhabitants depends on our ability to maintain it. So, the future of the Mother Earth is depending on the people whoever are there or living in the current situation and how they maintain the resource availability. It is a duty of every person to ensure that renewable resources are used in a sustainable manner. We will see the meaning of the word sustainable. The quality of not being harmful to the environment or depleting the natural resources and thereby supporting the long-term ecological balance is called as sustainability. Diversity of life on the earth is conserved. Diversity is nothing but there are many creatures and many people live and many resources available. All those things of the earth needs to be conserved. The damage to the natural environment system must be minimal. So this is a three important duty of every person. I repeat, the first one is renewable resources are used in a sustainable manner. Sustainable in the sense with the proper usage of the resource available. Diversity of life on the earth is conserved. All the resources whichever is available on the earth must be saved. Damage to the natural environment system must be minimal. We should not damage the natural environment unnecessarily. We will see the various ways to conserve the resources. Make the shopping bags with the old newspapers and discarded cloths. Make baskets with bamboo sticks. Switch off electricity when not in use. Prevent wastage of water by checking leakages and closing taps when not in use. Reuse water for washing and watering the plants. So these are the few ways how to conserve the resources whichever is available right now. So here are the some principles of sustainable development. Sustainable, we saw the meaning. Sustainable is nothing but to balance and save it for the future. Respect and care for all forms of life. Improve the quality of human life. Conserve the earth's vitality and diversity. Minimize the depletion of natural resources. Depletion is nothing but the harm which is being done to the natural resources. Change personal attitude and practices towards the environment. Enable communities to care for their own environment. So on the right hand side you can find a sustainable development picture. People end poverty and hunger in all forms and ensure dignity and equality. Prosperity. Ensure prosperous and fulfilling lives in harmony with nature. Peace. Foster peaceful, just and inclusive societies. Partnership. Implement the agenda through a solid global partnership. Planet. Protect our planet's natural resources and climate for future generations. So this is how a sustainable development can be made.
Thank you all for watching my video. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel Intelligence Hunt. Please do share, subscribe and comment on my videos. Till I meet to the next Till I meet in the next video, this is Shanti signing off from Intelligence Hunt. Bye bye.